Do you want to change your stock steering wheel to something that's cool, like a flat bottom steering wheel? Stay tuned and I'll show you how to do it. Oh man guys, what is going on today? D-Creator here, back with another video. I forgot to do an intro, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make one of these. So let's go ahead and jump into the video.
Now what we gotta do is take off this cover, because we're gonna try and reuse this to make the template. So let's cut along the seams where the stitching is and go ahead and pull this off. What we're gonna do now is, since we're making a flat bottom steering wheel, since the new edge steering wheels have these lines on it, we're just gonna go ahead and cut it off right at these lines. So I thought I had to get an extra piece of metal, just pretty much flatten this out, hit it with a hammer a couple times. All right, for lack of better words, that's what it's gonna look like. All right guys, now that I got the bottom half cut off, this is pretty much how we're going to do it. Pretty much like that. So let me go ahead and do a few tack welds on here. Alright guys, so this is not the final product, but this is the final product for what it's supposed to look like. I am going to fill this in with some, forgot what it's called, but it's from JB Weld. It's not JB Weld, but something that fills right here, like some putty. And then I'm also going to do it right in here just so I can have that little thumb area. That's going to be a little difficult because I'm going to have to sand that down and, you know, make sure it's even on both sides. But for the most part, I am very happy with how this feels. This is really sturdy. I'm not a welder, but I'm happy that I was able to get this really sturdy on here. Yeah. So what I got so far is a JB Weld putty or whatever. And pretty much what I had to do was fill in these cracks right here. And now I'm going to sand it. I already kind of started sanding it a little bit. Now what I need to do is add, don't know what it's called. I guess it's thumb grips or thumb stops. I don't know. It's just a little hump that goes right here on each side. I'm gonna go ahead and add that on there. It's starting to look like a nice steering wheel. I also got the letter for it, the wrap. This is going to be my center stripe. Let's go ahead and put the thumb stops on there. Alright guys, so I know it doesn't look like much right now. Just trust the process, okay? You can see what's going on and how we're working with it. I'm going to go ahead and start sanding some more on this. And after sanding it down, this is what we got. I sanded down here. And I also painted it black. This is actually forming out to be really nice. Really enjoy the way this is turning out. All right guys, so it's time for arts and crafts. You want to get your old steering wheel cover and you're just gonna
lay it out, you want to do it at a diagonal angle, or at least where the fabric kind of stretch.
So it's been a while since I actually done this, but I had to rewatch Chris Fick's video in order to realize this is what I need to do. Same process when you cut it out in a diagonal, but you want to cut it in like a perfect rectangle, as straight as possible.
And now what you want to do is you want to find the middle, which is pretty easy. So it's a circle right up here on top. And then what you want to do is grab your letter, put it right there in the middle, grab a piece of tape and put it right there in the middle. Now what you want to do is just go ahead and bring this all the way, and there you go. It's wrapped around. Now you can kind of measure where everything is, where it start getting thicker on your steering wheel, because it is thicker right here where the spokes is. Draw a line so you know not to cut the excess.
So that mark right there is right when it start curving up, as you can see. So I know not to cut past that point. And now what you want to do is measure the width of this. So this is about 3.5. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a straight line going right underneath the marks. Go ahead and mark it at 3.5, and then I'll just draw the line all the way across through there. All right, so now what I did was I marked everywhere I was gonna put a hole. I didn't do where the spokes is because I'm still trying to work with that, but you can kind of see what's going on here. Use my ruler. So as you can see, that's pretty much how I laid it out. And the ones on the end, I did a tighter stitch because I wanted to make sure that that's going to hold on extremely tight. We're going to go ahead and sew these two together and then sew it to that side. All right, after stitching it together, this is what it looks like now. As you can see, that's my racing stripe. Put it right there in the middle. So now what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to cut right in here just to give it some relief. So whenever I tighten this all the way down, you don't feel this bulge. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut those relief cuts in there just to get it smooth. And then when I do that, we can go ahead and start stitching the entire steering wheel together. And as you can see right here, this is where the relief cuts are. So the seams fit right in there. Go ahead and grab your needle and your thread. And you want to go ahead and go on the inside. Go ahead and go through the inside and try and make it as even as you can with the other dots. And there you go. That's one side. You're gonna need two, so here's my second one, and the same thing. Line it up the best possible way you can. Yep. And I'm using the tape to keep it closed for me. All right, there you go. Now you just want to cut off all the excess. And to start this thread, grab your top one, put it in the bottom hole where you had that other one at. And then grab your bottom one and put it through the top hole. And go ahead and pull it through. That way it comes together. Make sure all of this is lined up to where you need it to be. And just follow the lines. The top needle goes to the bottom hole and the bottom needle goes to the top hole. You just have to repeat it all the way down till you get to the first spoke. All right, so here's a little bit of it. And just keep going until I come all the way back around.
Many hours later.
All right, guys, after long hours, we finally got the steering wheel done. And might I say, I really like the way it turned out. Let me go ahead and say this. This is why I wanted a tan steering wheel.
Couldn't find one. All I could find was a charcoal one and then a light tan that was not gonna look right with this. Other than that, look how cool that is. I can't wait to put this in the Mach 1. The next steering wheel, when I get the tan one, it's gonna look better. But yeah guys, I cannot get over how well this looks. Everything feels great. I really love this. And like I said before, I'm going to try and start making these. I really like how these look. And I do know there are some steering wheels that's on the market that are like this, where you could just buy the flat bottom steering wheel, but I think it's like crazy amount. And also I think they only offer the charcoal gray color. They don't offer any tan or gray or anything like that. So you only get this color. And I don't know about you, I'm not a fan of how that looks as far as the two different colors. Once I get a second steering wheel, because I really don't want to mess this one up. If I want to go back to this steering wheel, I want to go back to it. I don't want to have to mess that up. I'm really looking for a tan steering wheel, so hopefully I can find that soon. This was pretty easy to make. It was just tedious on the stitching. The stitching took the longest. Everything else was fine. Hopefully you enjoyed this project. If you like DIY projects, go ahead and click on this video right here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.